So now we're going to look at percents and how to move between the different ways to write them, because percents can be written as a percent with the percent sign, a fraction out of 100, or a decimal. Percent means the number of parts per 100. So for example, if we say that 31% of high school graduates are choosing to return to high school to earn some additional credits, that means that out of every 100 graduates, 31 of them will be returning. And percent can be converted to a fraction. So from 31%, we have 31 over 100 because the percent sign means compared to 100. Or that now can be written as a decimal, because if I do 31 divided by 100, a fraction is just a way of writing a division. I get 0.31 or 31 hundredths, because to divide by 100, I move the decimal back 2 places. 1, 2. So looking at some examples, we're going to change the following percents into a decimal. So 49% means 49 compared to 100. Divide 49 by 100, move the decimal back 2 places, so it's 0.49. So to change a percent to a decimal, we're dividing by 100, moving the decimal back 2 places. 25% divide by 100 is 0.25 or 25 hundredths. 7% divide by 100, move the decimal back 2 places. Now in this example, the decimal was right after the 7%. So when I divide by 100, I have to add in zeros as placeholders to indicate that it is 7 hundredths to get the 7 in the right place. 0.1%, if you don't like the fact that we have decimals mixed with fractions, again, we can multiply top and bottom by 10, 1 in 1,000. Then I could do 1 divided by 1,000 to get 1,000ths, or 0.001. Or I start with the original percent that I had, 0.1%. So the decimal was right there. Because it's percent, I divide by 100 or move the decimal back 2 places. 101%. 101 divided by 100, I start where the decimal was, right at the very end, divide by 100 because it's a percent, and I end up with 1.01 or 1 and 100th. 7.5% is 7.5 over 100. Again, if we wanted to deal with the fact that there is a decimal in there, I can multiply top and bottom by 10 to have 75 over 1,000. So then the decimal equivalent is 75 thousandths, or I start where the decimal was between the 7 and the 5, 7.5%. Percent means divide by 100, move the decimal back 2 places. So the equivalent decimal is 0.075, 75 thousandths.